Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. This is episode 16 here on BallySpring with me, Farmer Murphy. Well, you notice we're still in April. That's because there's something I want to do here at the end of the month before we roll over. Uh, Once we do that, we will be jumping ahead to May, and that our money is at 531,000. That's based on the productions, of course, that we have currently running, and it's because of that money that we're here in April. But before we get to that, a couple things to update you on. One, just a reminder, there'll be no update this episode from Future Farmer Murphy. We're doing those updates only every quarter now because the parameters we're measuring aren't going to change that quickly. Secondly, let's take a look at the map. And where are we here? I harvested the clover that was here in 168 and reseeded in millet. The clover I turned to hay for the sheep. I harvested the alfalfa here in 183, and that I turned into silage for the cows. And if you want to see some of that process being done, go ahead and check out the test video. I'm not going to bother showing any of that here because it's essentially just mowing and baling anyway. And I originally was going to leave this as alfalfa because based on my test, there was no reason to change it. But then at the last minute, I did make a change because I decided to take out, there was a hedge separating these two fields. So I took that hedge out. I put grass back in here. That was here in this field originally. And I did that pretty much for one reason. Both these fields have a very steep hill running this direction, and now with them combined, I can work across the field quite efficiently now, and it'll make it easier to deal with those two fields. So that is what I did. Now, one quick correction I got to make on that test video. If you watched it, I kept saying at the end you could do everything with clover and alfalfa you could with grass. That was not 100% true because as you saw early in the test, we couldn't feed the fresh mown clover or alfalfa to our sheep here. Um, Sheep and goats, I should say. I keep saying sheep. When I say sheep, I mean sheep and goats. Did that, I noticed in the update, the last update that I said say sheep, but I'm not separating the numbers for sheep and goats. We have both in here, and they're just moving up simultaneously. So anyway, sorry, I got sidetracked there. So that was one quick correction. But other than that, once you if you turn it to hay or silage, of course, the clover and alfalfa, you can do everything you can do with grass. So, oh, one last thing I was going to mention. If you watched that update video, you would notice that there was a bunch of snow down at the store. And actually, let's go on the map and we'll jump. Where the heck is the store here? We'll jump to the store now, or the vehicle shop, and you can see it's all gone. What I did is I leased a snowblower and blew all this snow into another dimension. And also on some of the roads, particularly down near here, when you drove on them, although they showed no snow visible, whenever we drove on it, the tires kicked up snow. So wherever I knew that was happening, I used a snowblower and blew the snow away. I think there's actually, yeah, there's a little patch of snow I couldn't get to with the snowblower there. Oh no, that's water. Uh, Anyways, so if I find out any other areas where I, can get rid of snow with a snowblower, I will. Of course, I could do the entire map edge. I'm not going to bother. If we buy any of those fields, though, in that case, I probably will. All right, so I think that's everything. So what uh, are we doing here at the end of April? Well, if you take a look at the map, what we're going to do is we are going to buy this cattle farm right here. That's the second cattle farm that we're going to own. And what we're going to do here in that farm, we are going to put a different breed of cattle. And actually, you know what? Rather than talk about that here, I will meet you at the new farm. So I'll catch up with you there. Well, here we are at our new cow farm, which is located directly across from the pig farm. You can see a house on our pig farm off in the distance there. That's our house. We have this house here, and then we have the house at our original cow farm that, we're not living in. We're living up at the sheep farm. I could have deleted them or sold them and collected the money, but what I've decided to do is I'm going to rent them out. So we're getting 8,400 euros a month from those three houses. And that means we have folks living on the farms kind of keeping an eye on things when we're not here. Now, I've turned the interactive markers on so we can see where things are. We have a fuel point that we're likely not going to use because I said we're across from the uh, pig farm. But we do have a cow pen, the whole reason we bought this, that we are going to use. But let's start by taking a look at our current animal situation here, or specifically cows. Now, we have 161 cows in here. Now, theoretically, if I've done the math correctly, these will organically grow by year 5 to 1,000 and fill not only this pen, but the pen, I should say, up north. That's where I'm going to put half of this herd when we buy that farm. This is the additional cattle to take us from 1,000 to 1,500. And what I'm going to do is I am going to put half the number in this pen, and theoretically speaking, we should end up at with a pen full by year 5 if we have half the cattle in there. So one of the reasons I bought this now was so we can get started on that right away. And the second reason is this herd will be out of cycle with that herd, and we should be able to get milk production right away from these because I'm going to buy fully mature cows, and that'll give us some milk back again. And we are going to buy jerseys. So we'll buy a Jersey Bull here first because we're going to need one of those. Now some of our cattle in the other pen are actually still heifers, but I'm going to buy, if I can, what would we need? 80 full-grown Jersey cows for the milk production purposes. And it will give us a head start on hopefully on bursts as well to get the pen filled up. So we'll buy 60 there. Now hopefully I have enough money to buy another 20. We'll see here. Should, I think. Oh yeah, I would think we have that. Yes, there we go. Oh, we still have 100 grand left. So there we go. We now have 80 mature cattle in here, and they should start producing milk for us right away. And they're of a different breed. Kind of cool. And not only that, they have a pasture to wander around in. I can't remember if the pen up top has a pasture or not. I'm hoping so that we have some Holsteins wandering around too. But now what I need to do is they're going to need some feed. So I'm going to run back to our main cow farm and I'm going to grab 16 silage bales, basically a trailer load, and drop them off here and we'll get these cattle fed. Okay, so I've brought over 16 silage bales from the other cattle farm, and I went to the shop and bought 16 straw bales as well, and obviously I grabbed our telehandler and brought it over here. At some point it'd be nice to have a telehandler that could be shared between this farm and the pig farm. Not a big deal right now. I wonder if I can pick up all 6 of these. I know I picked up 4. Because it's not that far to bring it over. Whoa! Can, but it's right on the limit apparently. Now I hope this pen takes bales. I never thought of that till just now. Oh, good, it does. Anyways, as I was saying, it'd be nice to have a telehandler over here that could be shared between this farm and the pig farm. That I started saying about 3 times. Not a big deal to bring it across right now, but as our animals increase, it'll come to a point where I'm sure we'll need to use it for one or the other every day here on the farm. Well, that looks reasonably full. Let's just check. Go and look at our animals. Oh, there's room for a little bit more. Oh, I just noticed we need to give them water here. Oh, and I can see the trigger right through there. So I'll grab our milk / water tanker and bring it down and give them some water. Oh, there, it's full. Actually, what I might end up doing off camera is I think the pigs could use a little straw. I may grab those last few bales and take them over there as soon as I got the telehandler down here. Because our other cow pen needs straw as well, but I'll just buy 16 more bales for it. I just topped it up. Would actually been yesterday. Take the wrap off. Oh. By rights, you should actually take that other wrap off as well, but we can't do that. But at least we can take the outside wrap off. Oh, it is taking it just a little bit slowly. I'll grab this oddball one here. That's close enough. Close enough. So I'll take this back over to the cow farm and I'll grab our water tanker and we'll get some water to them. See you in a little bit. Okay, there we go. We have just over 10,000 liters in our tanker. I don't want to put too much in. I don't want to end up with a bunch of water left in my tanker. Although I suspect what might happen here is the same thing that happened at the sheep farm actually. I didn't really mention it, but when I filled the water up there, it actually went into the silo. So like the sheep have like 500,000 liters of water. That's because there's a whole pile of it in my silo. I don't want to end up in that situation down here. So it says that we're only about 10% full or thereabouts. What I think I'll do is I might grab another 10,000 liters and put in there, but no more than that. Because we're going to need what silo space we have for our crops when the time comes. Now what I'm wondering is if this is actually a manure plate. Because I don't see anywhere else for our manure to go. I'm assuming because we put straw in here we're going to get manure. So we'll have to wait and see on that. So I think what I'll do is off camera, I'm going to throw in another 10,000 liters of water. And then we're going to jump to May and we'll see where we're at down here and if we need to put in a manure heap in and see if we have any milk. So I will see you in May. Well, welcome to May, everyone. As you can see from this grass field in front of us, there is going to be a pile of mowing to be done on our fields. But I don't think I'll be showing that this episode. I have something else planned, but I'll likely do a mowing montage next episode, I'm thinking. Of course, that's always subject to change depending on what comes up. But first, let's take a look at how our cows made out. I see, that's interesting. They're down to 13,700 liters of water. And when I jumped ahead, or just before I jumped ahead, that was over 20,000. So they went through just about 7,000 liters in less than 24 hours. So I'm definitely need to haul more water there. But the good news is we also have 8,000 liters of milk in that same time. So um, we should be able to get our bottling factory turned on again at some point here in the not too distant future. The bottling factory takes 30,000 liters to run in a month, roughly, I think it was. If we're getting 8,000 liters in less than 24 hours, we should be able to get it going. Our dairy, our farm dairy, has been running on goat's milk. I had kind of forgotten that was up here. Um, so that has been keeping it going. It currently has enough milk in it for a little more than half a month. So what I'll do is, since it's the first of the month, I'll top it up with some of that milk from the jerseys, and then the rest I'll throw in the bottling factory. But I want to find out about the manure situation there, so that's where I'm headed to right now, and I'll meet you down there. See you in just a little bit. Well, there is no sign of any manure on here. Um, oh, we're at what, 7,700 liters. It may be that this holds 10,000 liters, so until we reach that, it won't spawn anywhere else. That's what it does in the other pen. So looks like we'll need to wait another day on that one. I'm just going to see if I think I should be able to test it with the old Kubota here. See if that manure is like at the other farm, sitting in the silo. The Kubota has a capacity on it, so it should be able to. Maybe am I not lined out too far ahead? Maybe. No, it doesn't look like it. Of course, again, I suppose it could be that nothing transfers over until there's 10,000 liters in there. But so I guess the manure mystery, let's call it that, is not solved just yet. So I'm going to head back up to the other farm, because what we're going to do is take care of our millet field. It needs to be fertilized, and it has weeds in it. So that's what we're going to take care of before we start undertaking all the mowing. So I'll see you up there. Well, we're here in our Q series Velter, or the 300 horsepower one. Now we have our solid fertilizer spreader on the back, and I could have done this with the small Veltra, but it's down at one of the other farms, so this one was here and handy, so I decided to use it. I think we needed to use this tractor anyways to do the weeding, which we're going to do next, so it all works out. Now I'm still sticking with the system of using our slurry for our grass fields, and then using solid fertilizer on our crop fields. We're up to just over 500,000 liters of slurry currently, but we have a lot more grass fields to cover. But at some point we may have enough that we can start using some of that slurry on crop fields, but for now we're just going to stick with the solid fertilizer. Well, this is an out of cab job. Oh, and I need to have the map on so we can see where we've been. Actually, you know what? I know that this has got a pretty widespread width on it. We can go down here a little ways. There we go. This spreader is going to make pretty short work of this job in this small field. But after I do this field on camera, I need to go and do our corn and potato field off camera. Oh, and our sugar beet, can't forget about that one. So I've got those ones to do as well. Right now we're doing good for solid fertilizer. You may recall I did bring some up to our silo here. I haven't brought any up since then. And I'm trying to avoid doing that just to show that we've made enough solid fertilizer to fill the production. I have zero doubt that that will happen, but still kind of waiting on the digestate from the BGA to show that that bar is going to be full over the course of the series. But we're not quite at that point, so I can't make any more fertilizer right now. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't turn the crop sensors on. So I get to go over this again. Alright, well I'll get those turned on and I'll have to run around this field one more time with them turned on. And like I said, I'm going to go do our other fields. Like it's a pretty short work of that. And we are going to dig out our weeder because I'm pretty sure there's weeds in this field. Yes sir, there are. So we need to get this weeded. I don't think our other fields have weeds, or they shouldn't because we plowed those. So I'll catch up with you at weeding time. Well, we're set up here to do the weeds in our millet field. I have confirmed it's the only field with weeds in it. All our fields are fertilized. I can see this might be a little tricky to see where we've been. So after this for field work, I think all there is left to be done is mowing grass. So at this point, I don't think, well, I'm not going to have time in this episode anyways. By the time I get this weeding done, I think that'll be it. But I'm not sure that we'll have anything but grass cutting to do next month as well. So I'll leave that for then. Not like you haven't seen lots of grass processing so far, but I thought I'd show working that new combined field. I'm not going to mow it this month because the one side was just planted, or should I say seeded. But if I leave it for 1 month, then I'll get a little, full harvest on one side and half a harvest off the other, and then the field will be 100% in sync. So that's my thinking there. Anyways, I think I will stop talking and I will just record the rest of this, and I'll fill up till the end of the episode with a time lapse of some sort. So sit back and enjoy. Well, I think it's done. That was really, really tough to see. I imagine if you're watching this on a phone, you won't have been able to see it all. So let's go in and have a look and see how bad it is. Oh my, I think we did all right. A little bit right there and one little spot there. But hey, way better than I thought. All right. Well, I think I'm going to leave the episode there. I think that was a pretty exciting episode. As I said earlier, all that's left is grass mowing. So I'll get that done, and we'll start a new episode in June. I just noticed I left my help menu up the whole time. Sorry about that. Anyways, if you're still with me, really appreciate you watching. If you haven't already, I encourage you to hit that old like and subscribe button. And don't forget about that old notification bell. But for this episode here on Bloomfield, oh, not Bloomfield, what am I thinking? BallySpring, it's Farmer Murphy signing off.